Hello, we're back. Another episode of the Duh Hub interviews. Yes, I know. We're so ready. As you have seen in the title, the next guest is the one, the only PvP Fighter 11. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, happy. How are you doing?
I'm doing shit. Anyway, so we're gonna.
Yeah.
No, I'm doing fine. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Mm.
So let's just get right into it. Once again, I apologize. I'm like kind of rusty at this. I haven't done it in a hot minute. But let's get into it. So the question that I ask everybody that wants to do these types of like interviews and stuff like that is, how were you introduced or how did you join the community?
So this was back during 2018. I was aware of the Minecraft Survivor community before then, which was, I think, actually, funnily enough, fuck, dude. Oh, I'm totally forgetting her name. It's the first like person who ever hosted what was that girl? The girl who used to host them all the time back in the day. Post them to YouTube. They were bad. Well, they were all.
I don't remember their name. I'm not gonna lie.
You know who I'm talking
I think
about.
so. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. If I were to go start searching, I could probably find who it is. But like whatever. I'm sure someone in the comments will be like, "This person,
yeah.
don't." Anyways, no, but I watched some of her seasons. I was like, wow, this seems like really cool. But then I saw how in season four, their Echo, who was just a baby, was playing on the season and got absolutely bullied for being a child. And I, who at the time was also a child, was terrified of getting bullied by the big kids. So I quickly forgot about my dreams of playing on a Minecraft Survivor. um, and then 3 years later, when I went from 13 to 16 and I was annoying but better. I was like, shit, man, let's see if these things are still around. And they were better than before. I watched at the time Elite Crisis How Long was being released, like literally it was mid-season being released, which I think was one of Elite Chris's first really good seasons. Not to trash on the first three, I just think How Long was an actually like really solid cast and everything. And that's what got me into the community. I joined. I still remember the first thing I did was there. I think it was fucking Nifty who like I joined the Elite Chris server. Nifty made fun of my name, and I made fun of Nifty for being a furry, and that's how I started my first day in the community.
That's the first conversation you had in the
the
community.
first the first thing in general chat was just like, "That's a stupid name." Well, you're a furry. It's just
That's perfect. I wish I don't even remember my first interaction with anyone. So I mean, that's
it
just
lives
so
rent
funny.
free in my head because apparently Nifty is like this very raw, like one of the quote oldies, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just over here like giving him
Hi,
shit.
I'm new. You're a
And then
furry,
I
by the way.
joined a call, and I remember like I was just talking to a few of the other like fans of the series, and then like all these like people who like played unrecordeds, and I remember like Mason joined the call, and like what they were just like, "Hey, do you want to play one of these?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't know when's the next recorded." It's like, "No, you idiot. Those are signed up. Play an unrecorded first." And I got, yeah. So I won't keep rambling, but that was like my first week in the community. I played an unrecorded. I got fifth place. I got absolutely destroyed by Oxy, and that was my
Yep.
first like game.
Yep, that definitely takes me back with the 2018 Oxy games where he just like gets a bunch of advantages and just absolutely craps on everybody.
Oh,
But
I literally got idled out. That's literally how it happened.
yep.
So,
You
yeah.
basically answered my next question. I was just like, how was your first unrecorded experience? But you just
Oh, sorry, man.
you
Shit.
completely just answered that. All
So I
right.
guess I can go a little bit further
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
I enjoyed it. I remember voting out Mason because he went AFK for an hour during the pre-merge. That
yeah.
made
Oh
him
my
really upset.
gosh.
I also made my first ever like real bond, which was I made friends with a player who's no longer active, but I was really good friends with both. She was very active, and so this was Slinger Slices. He was a massive unreported host
Yep.
back in the day. And funny enough, this was his girlfriend who was playing in the season, Jaden, at the time.
Mm.
And me and Jaden were very solid. Jaden made fun of me for being, quote, in her words, I was very shy back then. So she called me, I think it was vanilla or something, or basic. I forget what it was, but she made fun of me for being quiet and boring, which was fair because I was too scared to let people know what I was really like. like a pussy. Like,
I did the same exact thing. I was like a nervous, like quiet person playing my first games in here. I did not know really what Survivor was too. Like, did you
oh
know
yeah.
about like the show Survivor when joining this, or were you kind of just like
Yes,
game show
yes.
community?
I watched the shit out of it growing up. My family loved Survivor. I honestly was the one odd one in our family because while I watched it, I was mostly interested in tribal and challenges. And whenever it got to like the camp sections, I would get up and go do something else.
Oh, okay, okay.
I couldn't. Keep in mind, this is like when I was like a little kid. And when you're a kid, all you want to see is people getting hurt and people getting mad at each other. And if it's neither of those things, man, like I want to go play some video games. I then got older and realized, no, the camp time's actually interesting, you little asshole. But
That is
anyway,
true. A lot of people did do that though back in the day, where they, if they won or something like that, they would just play a different game because they wouldn't care. There was no
dude,
socializing.
literally.
I
But
remember
no,
that.
when I remember that it was like a month I was in the community, and then after I got my start, I remember like I asked Slinger, I was like, these seem like a lot of fun to run. He told me it wasn't fun. People can be annoying, but I didn't listen. I was like, nah, dude, I gotta host these. And like literally within the first month or two of the community, I still remember there was this one person who convinced me to use my map that I was saving for like a recorded project someday for like my first season. And I don't know why I fucking listened to them. I'm kind of glad I did though, because I learned how shit the map was. Um, and also the season got canceled because I had no idea what I was doing. Um, but despite that, um, I did, however, had something else really cool that happened, which was after that, it gave me a little bit of that confidence because then a month later, I decided, fuck it. I bought a $5 server and I started hosting Minecraft Survivors. A
Oh
lot of
wow,
fun editing
random
that, you
random
know.
cut all of a sudden. I wonder what happened. Whoa,
Whoa.
whoa, we're back. What?
So
Anyway,
remind me, what was I talking
you're
about?
talking about just starting to host.
Yep, yep. So yeah, I just got into the hosting scene. I was very excited to start hosting my own seasons. We can get into that more if you'd like, but yeah, no, that's I got my official start and I started hosting, and the community was very receptive at the time towards me.
So I mean, we'll just dive right into it. Would you say it's a little kind of off topic, but kind of not really type of question?
Mm,
Would you
sure.
say it was fun to host at the beginning of when you were hosting, or near like, later down the line with your later seasons?
I could easily break my hosting journey. I
Oh,
have hosted what?
I said, uh oh.
I could easily break my hosting journey into up to three parts, which is my honestly, it really is the first 10 seasons, the second 10 seasons, and my final seasons. So I hosted on this old server. It's dead. I deleted it. But I used to host on the server. And it was very popular at the time. My seasons were not good. I was mainly people liked my seasons for how I was consistently hosting nearly every week or every other week. So I was that kind of host back in the day. But I would basically pour my entire free time into building these and trying to build an entire actually decent season in like a week. And then that's what it was because like that's what hosting was back in the day. I wanted to become like a regular staple in the community, and it only dawns on me that a lot of the most popular players in the unrecorded, even some recorded players, were regularly playing in my seasons at that time. Like I could name some old names I'm sure you would recognize right off the gate, right? Like
Hmm.
the 2018, some of the I didn't it didn't even hit me until after they're gone. Just some of the fucking cool people that I had in my lobby some of those nights.
Hmm.
It was a genuine pleasure to host for those people. Mostly because people back then, it was not drama centric. Everyone knew each other. I remember Mason mentioned this, and it's completely true. Even though I was part of the Discord side of the community, everyone was friends. It was not serious. It was
Yep.
just literally you get on and you just host with friends, and it's fun. The one thing that my seasons I tried to do was I heard a lot of people just stuck to whatever the show does. And I thought that was boring as shit. So I would come up with my own unique idols and twists, and a lot of them became very popular. I also tried to come up with unique challenges, and some of them have become regular staples of like the Minecraft scene. Minecraft pushing literally was made in a meme season of mine. Case in point. That's my claim to fame right there. Everyone fucking uses it now.
That's true. That is very true.
I
Well,
remember because Killer Meme Star played in that season was like, this is really interesting. Do you mind if I use this in my next Minecraft Survivor? I'm like, I don't fucking care. And like within like a few months, it was everywhere, and I was like, oh shit.
I did not know this lore at all. This is just brand new to
I
me.
mean, and that's just like one of like I can proudly say I think I made a few challenge trends. That's probably like the biggest one though I made. So I don't know. There's my claim to fame, if you want to call it.
I left a mark in the community, so I'll take.
I love to work on the community. But like, no, it's real, dude. Like, you don't realize it when you're hosting those and you're doing your own shit. People are gonna start like using. People are using my twists. People are using my ideas. It was crazy to me, like the kind of weird impact you can have. It's funny too because obviously for every twist you make, that's like, oh my god, I loved this twist. I make a twist and vehemently get like roasted for it because it was like horrible or super imbalanced, and I'd never use it again.
Basically, just testing the waters, just to
Oh
see
my
what
god, there
works.
was no quality control, bro. I literally had an idol where as long as you didn't get the majority of the votes, you would just get it back and you could use it again.
Oh
Player God
my!
spammed it till the last time they could play it.
Wait,
They were
that's
just
actually so funny.
well, I told people as long as you give him the majority of votes one time, he can stop using it. But they were like, nah.
No,
So
whoever the
he
person
debates a finale.
the person was smart to try to play that every round. I mean, there's no harm in not doing it. So like,
Yeah, and like people just kind of accept it. Okay, he's going to top 5. Anyways,
all right. I mean, I'll ask this question so people know what was up with your record, because I feel like there's not a lot of people who knew what was happening or
and
know what
no,
was
a lot
happening
of the
with.
old community
Yeah,
doesn't know that I used to be like one of the big unrecorded hosts. I still get people who even are big in the community like you were
you were a
you were like
host.
you were a host. And I'm like, yeah, dude. I had like over 400 people on my Discord. He's like, you did it. I'm like, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I ask a question for those who have no idea that you were a host. So just like a little fun one, I guess, is what was one of your like favorite moments that you've ever had while hosting?
Holy fuck, there's so many to pick from. Oh my god. There was a lot of bad moments, obviously a lot of drama. I
Yeah.
could easily name off some like literally one time two people made death threats against each other. And honestly, one of my favorite seasons, like they're threatening to go like actually after each other in real life. So like people took my seasons way too seriously sometimes because my
Yeah.
seasons were very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to name off one of my favorite moments, was a probably so there was this one season I was running. I could probably name off a few different ones, but the one I'll talk about just because I don't want to talk your ear off, even though it's my interview, but whatever. um, uh, it was my season 6. It was one of my most popular biomes I'd used for my seasons, which was the floating jungles. I don't know why my community loved it so much, but they made me reuse it like 3 times. Anyways, but so I was hosting. So my first time using this like setup. The twist of the season was kind of like an advantage island where you'd go out and get advantages, and there was an advantage that someone got, like a pretty nice idol that literally it's like an OP idol, but you took a 50-50 to get it, and if you either get this like really solid idol, or you would literally go home if you got the bad 50-50. And this one guy, Dr. Turtle, took the 50-50, got the idol at Final 6. Then sadly, due to him trusting the wrong people, got voted out. He passed the idol to a good friend of mine, or a Jupiter. I don't know if you know who that is, but he was pretty
I
big on
feel
my
like I heard that
server.
name.
Yeah, Jupiter plays MC. He was a cool dude. He Jupiter did this like so. Jupiter was known as like a ditz in the community. He was known for like being dumb or like do really dumb shit. So Jupiter, knowing this, was pretended like he when he got the idol that he accidentally deleted it. Like when the next challenge it was like the put everything in your ender chest and then I'll clear your inventory. So I put everything. I tell people put it in. he hides it around the corner, and then he's like, "Oh fuck, PV!" He's like, "You deleted my idol!" And I'm like, "Dude, I told you to put it in there." And he's like, and I genuinely thought, I'm like, "This dumbass, how did you lose like the most powerful idol in that way?" And they texted me, check my inventory, motherfucker had it. It was like, and I watched him put it in the ender chest after people stopped looking, and he idled out one of the biggest players in that season.
Wait, that's so. Oh my god, that's actually
And
so
literally
smart.
the majority alliance, who by the way was being really toxic that season, I did not like those people. Uh, they were like actually mad at me, like, 'cause they were like, "You should have said that it didn't get deleted." Like, and I was like, I mean, he said it was deleted, and you know, it looked like it got deleted. I technically, you know.
I had no idea.
I mean, I knew afterwards, but like, I'm not gonna say shit because that's amazing. Are you kidding me?
I would have allowed it too. I'm not
But
gonna lie.
that's like one moment I can name off out of like 20. Because when you've hosted that many seasons, there are so many infamous moments.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
But that's probably one of my early favorites from that era. That first 10 was that one always calls to me.
All right. Well, I guess I can kind of dive into this question because you kind of mentioned it with the friend groups. I know it's a great topic of discussion, but that was I don't know if that really is still a main issue nowadays, but back then it totally was, especially with unrecordeds. Because you know,
so
waiting rooms. So yeah, explain.
I can actually get into that.
Yeah. Go for it.
So funny enough, the next era of hosting, that 10 to 20 era, was when that became a bit of a problem. It was continued to be a problem, but I didn't notice it at first. Where like there would be these like friend groups that would show up to like certain seasons and would completely wreak havoc. And this was back before I had like. I just genuinely used to run it the way of first come first serve. I really wish as a host I didn't do that, but it was how I used to run my seasons because I was grateful for whoever would show up. You know, the problem is that I became a popular enough host that like there was legit a few different times happening where I think literally one time there were people camping in my lobby and had the lobby was fully filled 2 hours before the season was supposed to begin. And like that should have been like the clue for me that like I should probably do a different system, you know? But I don't know. I was just like, oh, I mean, if they're willing to wait 2 hours, you know, to fucking play, I mean, like, whatever. But no, I mean, the seasons, friend groups, that used to be a pretty big problem. It was much more of a problem in the layer era where my final, I guess I like to call it my private era, where I used to like host seasons through applications. But friend groups would like specifically try and hide that they're a friend group. Or I still remember the most infamous one was there was this friend group. I will not name them out of respect because some of them are still active in this community. But there was this friend group that wanted to play, and they specifically were like telling me in a call that they were not going to play as a friend group, that they were like one of the good ones. They were going to play like legit, not, you know, not protect each other. And I genuinely, because I was friends with a few of them, took them at their word. You know, it was a season I spent over a month on, one of my most ambitious seasons I ever built, and they friend grouped the whole fucking season happening. Literally 3 of them made finale together.
That sucks.
And like that's when I like knew this was a problem. And I made a very clear display when I said my post that I do not like allow this on my server in the future. I even banned 1 or 2 of them, the main people that were causing the friend group problems. And they were pissed at me. They were pissed at me because they were like, "Go fuck yourself for banning me," you know? Like, but I stood by it because at the end of the day, I don't want people thinking that they can just ruin an entire season and do that shit, and there shouldn't be consequences. I always thought the main problem was how disorganized the community was. If the community just like made a set rules across the servers and like we agreed on them as like a general like group of hosts, dude, half the problems wouldn't fucking exist. Because if they learned the hosts weren't, and this leads into another point, a whole ass discussion I could talk about.
Oh yeah,
which I'm sure you can push me on here, but literally, I'll just say this right now. I think the biggest problem back in that day was how entitled players were. People didn't realize how much time you put into these seasons. And I literally had people playing on my seasons acting like fucking food critics, talking about the challenges were good, but tribal was lacking a little bit. And also the hosting could have been a bit
Oh
better.
my
And it's like,
gosh.
who the fuck are you? I spent over a month on this, and it's not like a lot of people host anymore. I know my shit's one of the best out there. Actually, shut the fuck up. And I know someone's gonna say, like, oh, well, your series can be criticized. Oh, I'm well aware. It's fair. I'm just saying, like, to people who are demanding that I, like, owe them something, I don't owe you shit. The game show was what I made for the community. Fuck off if you think I owe you anything. And I
That's
wish I
facts.
had the balls to say that shit back then because I was too scared of it. I was too scared of confrontation. And now I can say as I'm older and realized how much of an asshole some of these people are being to me, I can name off like 5 people like, hey, you from that person back in the day, go fuck yourself, you egotistical maniac. Like, I don't care, dude. I don't fucking care about them anymore.
Hey, yo, I mean, I get that because I was part of the community back then, and I've seen that firsthand as well. And I do
Mm.
think it has improved like by tenfold. I mean, to be fair, I'm not really in the unrecorded space
Oh,
right now, but like
oh,
in recorded
hosts don't
wise,
take it anymore. Hosts don't take it anymore. They don't
yeah.
take that kind of disrespect, and I genuinely respect that. I literally tell young hosts, build what you want to build, do what twists you want to do, and most of all, make a good product. And if there's someone in the season acting like an asshole, trying to ruin it for everyone, my advice: kick them. Genuinely, kick them. Because why are they there? They should have consequences to their actions. And to people who goes, well, it's not fair to kick them just for being an asshole to staff. Yes, it fucking is. I'm sorry, go fuck yourself. Yes, it fucking is. Because why should I, after I spent a month building a season, hear this little annoying shit yapping in my fucking ear? I don't like this fucking season the way it is. I'm sorry. What do you fucking do? Eating Cheetos and watching YouTube all day? Shut the fuck up.
I will.
I don't
I will
owe
add
you
to
shit.
that. I will add to that, and especially for recordeds nowadays too. If you're one of the types to like complain about everything, I guarantee you, you're getting purpled. They're like you're either getting kicked from the season or you're not getting like you're just not being shown in the
Thank
season.
you.
I'm just
As
saying.
it should be. As it should be.
I respectfully could say that for every host will agree on this. If you're annoying in a bad way, if you're annoying in a good way, you'll be like shown being a joke here and there. But like in a bad way, you're just annoying and no one really liked you on this
Yeah.
season. You're just not getting shown.
That's the part about private seasons where I used to make applications to sign
Yeah.
for my unrecords, which people complained about that, but literally the applications were 3 fucking questions, so it's just a skill issue. But anyways, um, anyways, the nice thing about applications was I wouldn't ever have to actually ban anyone officially. So literally, I could just quietly, I would have a section of applications where if I ever saw, oh, this person signed up. Okay, quietly puts that over off to the side. That's great. Never gonna get casted. I will literally go find some random Joe Schmo before I cast that motherfucker. Like, you fucked yourself out of my series. I don't want you.
Oh no, my hand slipped on the delete app button. Oh no.
Oh no, what happened? Where'd it go? It was almost like it never mattered.
All right. We'll move on from this topic. If you want to know more about his unrecorded, it's just DM PvP. I'm sure he wouldn't mind to talk about it.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
next is your experience when it comes to recordeds, because obviously you've been in a lot. We both have been passed around when it comes to recordeds. Let's just say that. So
Right.
what was your first recorded experience like?
Holy fuck. Okay, well, this is gonna be a crazy. It's deleted for the record. The
Okay,
season's
yeah.
deleted off YouTube. But I'll still talk about it because even though this motherfucker tries to pretend they don't exist, they do. So Aiden HD, I don't know if you know who that is. I think
Yeah.
he played in Andrew's most like recent like Big Brother.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That guy, right?
Mhm.
He's been around for a while. Shocker. He used to host recordeds. Really, really, I'll just be blunt, bad recordeds. Like the kind where it was like you could see like the window bar at the bottom, like all the little like
Oh,
like
yeah.
he recorded it in windowed mode.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Did he even not wait? Like, did he upload these episodes or?
Yes, they've been
So wait,
deleted, but like
so he
they were
didn't
on
crop
YouTube.
he didn't crop in at all. He just straight up okay. All right.
No, like he left on the mine. You can see the Minecraft file, the recording file on the bottom, like everything.
Let him cook. I mean, it was 2018, you know. Back in the day editing wasn't the
So
best.
I played in that season. It was a lot of fun. I actually did fairly well, but I kind of made a game horrible move near the end where I kind of threw my game to A-Dog for literally no reason other than A-Dog bet it that I wouldn't do something, and like an idiot, I was like, I'd fucking do it. You know? And then I did it, and then turns out he was baiting me and do something stupid, and it worked. So, congrats,
Oh,
A-Dog, for calling. I used to be kind of stupid,
yeah.
still kind of am. Anyways, but nah, dude, that was like my first season. I actually played pretty well, and I was actually behind A-Dog, was pretty much the front runner to win the season, I remember.
Wait, so did you
So
enjoy
yeah.
your did you enjoy your first record experience?
Yeah, I think it went fairly well. My first major recorded, because I played in a lot of like canceled recordeds. I'm sure a lot of
Oh
people
yeah.
from this era can relate to this. I've technically played in, when I say record, I'm sure people play in recordeds that haven't like ever came to see the light of day. I have played in roughly 20 probably recordeds, and only around a fourth, maybe over a fourth of them have ever seen the light of day. A lot of them are coming up here. I'm not going to say
Yeah,
names,
yeah,
but
yeah.
there's a few that I've played in that I know are going to be coming up here. Obviously, if you've seen the trailer for Galaxy, and I'm sure people have asked me, why did you play in Galaxies? No offense to Galaxy Wolf. I literally just played because me and my girlfriend were like, fuck it, let's play in a season together and sign up together just for the fucking fun of it.
Hey,
And I'm
hey,
not
fair
going to
enough.
go into my thoughts about that season.
Yeah. True, true,
Because
true.
obviously it's not out yet, but yeah, it was an experience.
And that's
Um,
all we'll say about that
and that's all we'll
one.
say about that one. But yeah, there's a lot of recordings I've played in that are like either coming out or been
Yeah.
out. I will say this. My first major recorded before I get to talking about more modern ones was Oxy Season 6, Baffin Islands, I believe is what it's called. Um, I I'm just gonna be honest. The day of was actually a lot of fun. It was a really great group, I thought, but I don't want to like sound like a salty player, but it was not a really positive experience after the fact.
Oh,
I was
post edit
literally
wise,
people what
like
post edit wise,
yeah. Okay, okay,
absolutely.
okay.
So for a few reasons, the edit I was given was horrendous. I didn't do myself a ton of favors with a lot of the stuff I was saying, but like I was a very dominant player. I was kind of running my tribe, but for some reason, everyone in the season was convinced that Socks the Ferret was running my tribe. And I don't know why. No offense, Socks, great guy, would literally come into my DMs almost half the time being like, PP, what do we do for tonight's vote? And and I would tell him, and then we would do it, and then afterwards people were like, man, Socks is such a great player. And that annoyed the fuck out of me. That, and also there was one player who I backstabbed in a pretty brutal blindside, who I heard afterwards basically trashed my name to the whole jury and was one of the biggest reasons I didn't win. So that was pretty annoying. But again, I'm not going to get into that. It's just
Yeah,
that, along with the fact that Oxy, because a lot of people in that season didn't like how I was playing and I was very brutal with my gameplay, Oxy, sadly, I felt had to give me a pretty brutal villain edit, which he did a good job of, for the record. I just, it sucks because I didn't think I was the villain until having to sit there and watch it. And to a degree, I was. But it just didn't feel like the complete story. Yeah, I'm sure plenty of people can relate to this where you feel like,
oh yeah.
that didn't feel like how I felt like I played the game, or felt like how even some people would agree that didn't really feel like how it actually played out. Kind of how I felt about Baffin Islands. It's fine though, Shout out to I guess spoiler. Shout out to Big Boom Reveal. Obviously, the jury must have really liked you and your story, and I did recognize that you shouldn't have made it to the end purely because the jury was going to be biased towards you. So good job. You did win the game fair and square.
Yeah, spoiler alert, about 3 years later, yeah, got you, yeah.
Spoiler alert, 3 years later, oh my god, yeah. But no, I'm not going to sit there. I used to be really upset about it.
Yeah.
I've moved on. The toughest thing about it was due to how brutal my edit was. Straight up, some people thought I was like an asshole, and I straight up got denied from a recorded or two. So that's really the reason I was bitter about it. Was
Oh,
people
wow.
were like, "Oh yeah, no, I straight up, I got like I was not let into certain seasons, and I was told it was one of the main reasons was because of Baffin Islands. So that's why I was very annoyed about that season, because I felt like they had to edit me in a certain way that made me look villainous to justify how people felt about me.
That okay. I feel like
And
nowadays hosts be like, I want that type of player.
no, it's completely changed. But like, I had some people who were like, they just thought I was like a jerk, I guess.
Oh,
So,
okay,
I don't
yeah,
know. And like, to be fair, the edit didn't do me any favors.
yeah.
So I don't hold any resentment against Oxy, though. I want to make that so clear before someone says something here. Oxy and I are good. We've talked about it since then. Obviously, you should realize that we're good because I played in his second chance season years later. I did awful in that, but that's besides the point. Spoilers.
No, not again.
I don't know if it's being. I think it's still actively being released right now. I forget. But,
Yeah, it is.
My boots been posted already, so yeah.
No, not spoilers again, bro. What?
Oh, okay. Well, you can mute it, or I don't know. Fucking. The point is, we're good. So I don't want people in the comments going, "PP doesn't like Oxy series, dude." At one point, I was annoyed. That shit's passed because I was ultimately the thing I'll recognize, despite my somewhat justified feelings on some of it. The fact was, I was being a little bit of a bitch about it. The fact is, I played a brutal, cutthroat game, and I should have recognized that would mean I'd probably be seen as a villain in a lot of people's eyes. I just wish people would have also recognized that I was a villain that was playing a good game, but again, whatever.
Yeah. I remember this. Oh, yeah, keep going.
You remember this?
No, I remember this because you applied to America, which I mean we'll probably get there at some point, but you applied to America.
Like that was actually where I was going to go next.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I was like, you applied to America, and you're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I don't care what anyone says about me.
Yeah. So I mostly had retired from the community just due to a lot of the drama I got in near the late end of the community. If you want to get into that, I'll be sure to open up about it.
Gosh,
but it's something I'm probably going to be very touchy and what I'm going to choose to talk about. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, though, that along with my recorded straight up. My footage were corrupting. I took a break from the community when I finished. So I guess for reference, I finished my unrecorded. And that was around when a bunch of massive drama happened around me. Horrible experience. So people were genuinely just coming for me in ways that I never have had people, I'm going to be just blunt, harass me before.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not a very pleasant experience. And it was a bit distressing. But despite that, I got through it because it made me grow up and make some tougher skin, realize I had to accept the fact that some people just were going to be that way. But ultimately, after I took my break because sadly the recorded I hosted back then, after I finished my unrecorded, the footage got corrupted. Unfortunately, it happened when I moved computers. I upgraded. My footage got corrupted during the transfer. So, yeah, very unfortunate. But fortunately, though, a year later, I had my good friend, Random Joker, who I do prod for in his series in particular, basically having me be like, hey, there's this guy, Mr. Kavanos, I'm sure you know who that is, was like, he wants to have you in this next season. I was like, why? And he's like, well, I told him about you, and Cav is wanting to get like really, old big names on, and basically was saying, it almost sounded like he was a little desperate. At least that's how it came off to me at the time. So I was like, fuck it, I'll play. And that was a fun experience. Went back to hibernating and doing my own shit for about a year. And then I was quietly getting back into the scene, watching some people's series, funnily enough, watching your series.
Oh boy.
And that was how I got into your series. I remember you were hosting America. I was like, fuck it. Why not? It'll be quick, And I was thinking like, what should I do for America, And I've never chosen to be a villain directly. The closest thing I've ever been to a villain was my Baffin Islands, where I accidentally became the villain,
Mm-hmm.
I never like chosen to be the villain. Like I'm gonna play a villainous game on purpose. Because to me it never seemed appealing,
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck it. Let's fucking, I'm just gonna be a loud dickhead to people. I'm gonna just be a jerk in confessionals. I'm gonna like just say what's really on my mind and play up like a bit of like a bully persona and let's just see what happens. And even though I was second boot in that season, literally people still jokingly, my friend groups and randoms will just randomly bring up my America appearance, probably even more than my GOG appearance from your series. Because in those 2 episodes, I came up with a new nickname for Seeds. I'm so sorry, by the way. And oh my god, episode 2. I mean, happy.
Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
I was doing all kinds of shit.
And what's funny enough too is when you were prominently like in the community in 2018, I took a break from like the community and just Discord in general. So when you applied, I had no idea who you were.
So like you heard like through the vents like who I was, and you're like,
yeah,
huh.
and I was just like, okay. I mean, I'll give this guy a shot. I mean, like I've never heard of him. He seems cool, and I'm glad that I did. And immediately, I think even in America, you're like, oh, you'll bring me back. The next season you're on,
like a challenge. I fucking challenged you.
You're
I'll
like,
be back.
you literally, as soon as you got voted off, and I like snuffed your torch, I think you literally said like, "Oh, you'll bring me back. I'll be back." And I was just like, "Okay."
And you were like, "This guy."
And sure enough,
interviews. I didn't even have a good interview. I remember for GOG, I was nervous as shit because I hadn't done one in so long.
yeah,
And no offense, the funniest part was the guy who I was like kind of being a dickhead to in that episode, Controller. Full disclosure to the audience, Controller was conducting my interview.
I wasn't there. Yeah, I remember this. I wasn't there at all.
I was so like, oh, it's you.
I'm pretty sure it was just a one-on-one interview too, right? It was just you and him.
There were 1 or 2 other people there.
Oh,
but,
okay.
I could tell Controller felt so fucking awkward interviewing me, and like, yeah, we're good now. Like we've talked a few times. Me and him are fucking like good, but like, oh my god, I don't blame him for sitting there being like, this fucking guy.
Hey, I mean, you got it.
I mean, yeah. I was a little shocked after my interview. I was like, oh fuck, I'm not getting in. They don't want me. But sure enough, I remember my girlfriend said, yeah, but that's Controller doesn't like you. Happy likes you. And I'm like, I don't know that. But
oh, I did.
Like, yeah, no. Yeah, but I got on, and I remember like the big thing when I went to GOG, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the bully persona thing again, but I'm gonna reel it back this time because I don't want to get like auto eliminated in the pre-merge, you know? Like instead of doing like 90% like loud ass dickhead, I dialed it back to around like a 30-40, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember.
Which worked for the record because I went pretty deep,
It's true because I was just about like I don't think I brought anyone back from America. I mean, of course, I brought Oven and Controller back for that America season, but I think you're the only technical returnee, quote unquote. And I don't.
I mean, I'll say it right now. Where's Mason? That's all I'm gonna say. Where's Mason?
He helped film season 4. That's all I'll say. So anyone who's hoping he was on season 4, my bad. Spoiler. Spoilers. Oh, dang it.
Dude, I know Mason's gonna be back on. It's me and Mason, dude. Maybe Joey too. Joey was cool.
Yeah, he was cool. Your whole side just got dunked on, I guess you could say. After you went out.
Fuck it. And you know what? And fuck it. Seed should play again too. Seeds, if you're out there, still love you, brother. Even if I was so fucking annoyed with you in that episode, because like I don't want to repeat that. Like,
yeah,
it started off as like joking irritation, and I genuinely got pissed because I didn't understand why he was targeting me.
Yeah, after you gave him a branch to like be on, bro, like oh my god,
I gave him like 2 olive branches, and bro burned both. I was like, fine, I'll just vote you.
I need to rewatch that season. I haven't watched it in a while.
Oh man.
But now we could talk about the other season you're on, which honestly this season has mixed reviews. I've come to like it. Not Day of. I still think Day of it was one of like the worst experiences I've had, but post wise and everything else, I enjoy it. But It has mixed
It's not
reviews.
Celestial West, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, what I mean by mixed reviews, I mean like the people who watched it love it, but the people who played in it, that's the mixed review part right there.
I I genuinely don't understand why. I understand the season went much later than most people are okay with. Maybe it's just because I used to host unrecordeds that went for a long ass time.
Hmm.
Like I was like the unrecorded host that warned people that yeah, this could be like a 12-hour season. If you're not up for that, leave.
No, I
And
get
people like
that.
people knew what they signed up for, so they're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. But no, like that never bothered me. I could tell how stressed the crew was, but like, I don't know. I kind of felt bad if nothing else, but like I was enjoying myself because it just felt like the first time where some part of me just was really excited just to play a very brutally honest game, be cutthroat, and just kind of be a full caliber of just kind of like myself. Because yes, it's a persona I play for your series, but also like to a degree, it is a bit of like a genuine like getting to have fun, getting to joke. I don't really get to do that in games, so. And I feel like games have gotten so serious nowadays. Like everyone's all about like their story that they have. Like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, and like I'm not saying that's a bad thing, and I'm saying there's a balance. And for me, I feel like a lot of people can appreciate that I just was someone who just went for it and just played how I'm gonna play, and whatever happened happens. You know, I know some people don't like my gameplay style, you know, but frankly, I think if you're that mad that I voted you off, maybe you should just learn to work around players with different gameplay styles. I don't know what to tell you. It sounds like a skill issue. Sorry, genuinely, genuinely. And for the record, there's really only like one main person who actually still, from what I've heard, is annoyed. But I don't know what else to say other than like, I mean, I don't know if I should get into that. You know, the main person I'm talking about.
I think question mark.
I'll text you. I'll
Yeah,
text
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. While you text me, I guess we can ask one more question about GOG and then move on from
This,
that.
by the way, this motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, 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 okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know exactly. I know, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You and
yeah.
the audience listening in,
Anyways,
you can't know.
oh no,
L.
it's a lot because a lot of what happened is off screen, like
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It's not even stuff that's like known to the public. And as far as it goes, I'm not going to bring it to the public. So just,
Yeah.
I guess all I'm going to say is, if you're that mad over a video game, maybe you should play less game shows. Sorry, sorry.
All right. I'll ask one more question about GOG, and then I'll say
Yeah,
something,
sure.
and then we'll move on to a different topic. So my next question for you is, since the crew, especially, honestly, I think the crew shit talks GOG the most, other than the cast. I mean, there's a couple people on the cast who are like, "Oh, this season took forever," which fair enough. Um,
Mm.
but for someone, because I know you liked it, for someone who was
Oh
on it
yeah.
and liked it, what was some moments, or not moments, but what was just one of your favorite moments? Wow, I just completely botched that question. Oh, what was your favorite moment when it came to like the behind the scenes, like stuff that wasn't shown in the
Mm.
actual episode?
I mean, obviously, you could talk about all the funny things. I've said it to you before that I think there should have been bloopers for season two because genuinely
Yeah,
there was so much funny shit that happened during that season. And also, proudly, I could say I think I'd be a third of those bloopers. So you know,
that is true.
but you know, stuff that didn't make the edit. Stuff- but that's okay. I understand. But for me, I think what I had the most fun with that season in particular was like I think a lot of people, there are some people who genuinely saw me as like this massive threat or like this sort of like dangerous player. And, it's funny because like on the round in Final Nine, I fucked that. That was such a horrible plan on my part because logically I should have been protecting Double, right? But
Mm.
instead I voted him and like an idiot. And then I should have gone home there because Double should have watched me play the idol on myself, and I get absolutely clubbed out of the season. That's what should have happened, But it didn't. Instead, due to the fact that actually I played a botched round, and due to the fact that I made those good bonds with Double, I'm sorry, Double, for somehow you played it on me, and by a coin flip, if I remember correctly, and it saved me. And that's what gave me like this weird like idea in my head where like I was like, okay, you know what? I can use this. I just fucked that round. Everyone knows I fucked that round. And also, along with that, people know that like I just lost a ton of power because clearly people don't trust me. So I literally walked into that next round of voting, basically challenging the whole cast, getting into people's minds. Again, not everything got showed in the edit, but like I was fucking with some people. I was proudly fucking with some people because I was self-aware of the fact that like people were like scared of me. So I was like, fuck it. If you're gonna be scared of me, let me give you someone to be scared of. And then I brought out, in my opinion, America PvP for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah.
and I just didn't let off the pedal. And I knew, because for someone who says, well, if you just did this, you shut the fuck up if you think there was ever an ending where I was winning that season. We all knew I was fucked from that going onwards. But it was just like this fun question of how far could PvP go? You know? I definitely thought I was just going the next round. So when soccer went and said, I mean, when I managed to convince enough people to vote soccer, I was genuinely a bit gauze-struck. I was like, that fucking worked? It was like, shit, all right. And I just started doing it more. But sadly, as you all know, my vote got stolen, and that, along with one other thing that happened between Echo and Brian, was the main reason that that vote got turned against me, which is fine. I think that's such a funny way for me to go, is at the same place when I went in America, and also in a fucking 7-0. That is hilarious.
Oh wait, yeah, true, yeah. It was just all on you because your vote got stolen. I remember.
But what made me so happy was, I don't know, I was expecting some people to be callous towards me or be like mad because I was being kind of a dick, you know.
Yeah.
But what made me feel like really good, and why I always say it's a good experience, is despite there being one or two people who I'm sure had problems with how I was playing, a majority of those people were thanking me for my game and like being like, you played great. And I feel like that right there, people who understand that this is a show.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's what's been lost nowadays, is that people are forgetting that this is a show. People are meant to watch this. People are meant to enjoy it. And maybe that's why now with games nowadays, I just like to let loose a bit more, you know? Because why should I like watch how I'm playing and play by people's feelings and all that when I could just do what I think is a lot more fun? I'm not saying everyone should let loose and play villain mode, but I'm just saying, like, remember, this is a game show. Make some jokes, have some fun, do some stupid shit. Mm-hmm. Remember that the people who really matter, production matters, sure, players matter, sure, but it's the audience, man. They're the ones who are watching this, supporting the series. They're the ones who matter. So I play because I want to entertain those people, you know? And I hope they enjoy, you know, watching me.
Oh, I'm sure they do. And then just to wrap it all up with GOG, I will just say that you were definitely probably my favorite on that season on GOG. I mean, of course, America too, but like on GOG, just because of the way you were and just the amount of moments you had. I mean, you still have one of my favorite moments in the entire series, even including the newest one that we just recorded.
I forget, what's your favorite moment?
Well, I have two. One is you and Brian just I don't remember exactly what the scenario was, but you were just shitting on Brian for no reason in the pre-merge. I think I don't remember exactly what scene it was, but it was so funny. But my actual favorite moment is not even like a you going off. It was more of like a genuine like, Eclipse, what did you do in this season? What's your big move? And then you like unintentionally kind of just set him up for the win there with that question. I was just like, dang, that was probably one of my favorite moments.
Eclipse was my homie. Yeah. I fucking love that guy. So yeah.
But yeah.
Nah, dude. I mean, I clocked Brian as soon as we walked into that season. I could tell he was a snake. I knew he was a snake, and I was setting up for his downfall. And then Caleb happened. And Caleb was like, actually, we're going to work with Brian and Harrison. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? These are like the two people I want to target. No, Caleb, no. And then everyone hated him because he was loud. I didn't fucking care, you know. No offense, I wanted to work with him because he was loud. Oh my god, dude. Listen, Caleb, I love you, man. Outside of it, we're good, all things considered. But my god, I was sitting there. I was like, I don't want to fucking vote you, but also you got yourself booted, man. I literally had texted him before the round began. Whatever you do, avoid Brian and Harrison. Don't tell them anything. First call I get into, he gets them in there. Hey, so we should make an alliance. And I was just like, what the? Oh my god. Like literally Eclipse is like, just text me, what the fuck is he doing? I'm like, I don't know.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Oh
my
man.
plan was to snap. My plan, if I had my way, because I was setting things up, and pretty much if Caleb hadn't fucked me going into that round, if I had it set up pretty much where I'm like 90% confident, Brian, I love you, man. I think I could have gotten you out in that opening vote. I'm gonna be honest. I had the domino set up. But you can thank Caleb whenever you remember it. Thank Caleb because he saved you. He unintentionally saved you. He forced me to change courses because he's so bad at the game. And like, despite that, I still love people who are bad at the game because I want to see them improve. So all things considered, I hope one day, Caleb, you get your good season because I know we've talked a little bit and I know you want to like improve on a future run. So genuinely good luck, Caleb. I hope you have that season that you deserve. Yep. Anyways.
Good luck to him. Good luck to him. So now to move
Yes.
on, we're gonna talk about production type of stuff because obviously you've been in productions. I've been in productions. So
yes.
We'll just start off with the basic. What do you think attracts people to want to play in recorded survivors nowadays?
I mean, obviously, I feel like a lot of the reasons for people wanting to play in recordeds have changed. There used to be like a bit of a prestige to it, and I still think like there is, but that's kind of gone away. I like remember people used to act like people who played in like Elite Chris or other seasons were like, "Oh my god, it's them," you know.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, I used to do it too, but I've since realized, nah, they're just people, you know. But they're just some motherfuckers. But some of them aren't even that nice of people. But anyways, though.
Yeah.
But I feel like the big thing that I would say a lot of people like why they sign up for these seasons is I imagine for at least modern day, it's just mostly because I just feel like the quality's better. I'm gonna be honest. I play in recordeds because it's the only form of game shows I play anymore. Unrecordeds are. I don't want to get into my full thoughts of the unrecorded scene. I don't think all unrecordeds are bad. I generally avoid them though because of the people who play in them, and even to an extension, certain hosts who run shows. I've heard stories and certain things, and it makes me genuinely disappointed that the unrecorded scene has gone as sour as it has.
Yeah.
I personally avoid it. And it's sad because a few years ago, that's where I was, right? So it sucks to see that community go such a bad direction, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of reasons it has, but, anyways. I think people sign up for recordeds for that reason, and also because recordeds are where a lot of the solid player base is, and in general, where you're going to get, like, actual good Survivor experiences. Me personally, I play in them just because it's a lot of fun to like play in as production, play with unique individuals, and have a lot of fun. Sadly, in a lot of recordeds nowadays, I've found there's like a lot of like newer players that seem to have this mindset of if they see, no offense, an oldie, which now I'm considered one of the oldies, right? They just kind of target you just because you're one of the big names, and it's not fun. It's not fun to play with those people. So I try to at least, avoid those seasons as much as I can. Or if I'm going to play with those people, I'm going to play. Weirdly enough, I'll use Galaxies as an example. I'll play exclusively with a somewhat new crowd, which I feel actually is weirdly better because at least like you know what you're dealing with,
It's true. My next question to you is you've been part of the casting process before on like the production side of things. What advice would you give to people who like are trying to get into these type of shows?
I'll give a few pieces. First off, when you're filling out your applications in general, I'm gonna be honest. Whenever I, as a person who's writing these out, see someone who wrote like 6, 7 paragraphs for just a question, I get kind of annoyed because I feel like you're overcompensating. No offense, because I feel like you're trying really hard to impress me. Because funny enough, in my recorded that never saw the light of day, there was this guy who wrote this like absolutely amazing, amazing, application. Uh, and then we got to interviews, and he legit didn't know how to answer certain questions, and on 3 occasions asked to skip a question.
Oh, yeah, that's a big
Yeah,
no-no.
like I asked him a question, he sat there in silence for a minute and went, skip." It was like,
Oh no.
and I was like, yeah, no, like if that person's ever watching it, you know who you are. So I think they're still active. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, don't do that. Like, first of all, when it comes to applications itself, just when you're writing stuff, think about what you're writing. I like to, whenever I write out applications, I will actually take a picture. And this is sound weird as fuck, but like usually I'm working or I'm like at school or whatever. Back when I was in school, or I'd be working. I will take a picture on my phone of the questions. Then I'll go to like my notes app and I'll just start answering the questions and thinking over what I want to write, because I'd rather like think about it while I'm doing like my job and being like, okay, I think I'd like to mention this, this, and this, and like mention it over the course of like a paragraph or two, or just a simple like thing of just like this is the answer. Because I feel like if interviewers can tell you're answering with a sense of genuineness, that's all you really need to get in, is they like authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And by extension, that carries into interviews. I feel you need to have a bit of flair. If you're very boring, it will probably, unless that's like a weird charm to you as being boring, which usually for most people it isn't.
Yep.
So you gotta actually like really be like, show yourself in a very unique way. Show what your interests are, be who you genuinely are, and then also play yourself up. Think about it like if you were a fictional character. Like, imagine here's a weird thing I would say, but genuinely it's worked before. Imagine you were like in Total Drama, right? Like imagine you are a cartoon Total Drama version yourself. Well, like take your like 5, 6 most notable personality traits and general stuff about you, and compromise that into a cartoon character. What would you get? Well, I imagine for a lot of people, you're maybe the fact that you're a little bit, abrasive. Now it's like, okay, and now I'm willing to like be a bit charged at tribal. Maybe like I'm willing to challenge someone on something or be a bit of a douche. Like I'm not very confrontational in my real life, but I will choose to be confrontational when I feel like I need to. That translates into Minecraft Survivors as me being abrasive or me challenging people or me doing ludicrous things, if that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like everyone has to be like PvP. Please, if a season was full of PvPs, it would be one of the worst things to ever watch. It's just a bunch of loud, angry people yelling at each other. Like, I'm a needed evil this season, but a keyword's a needed evil. Like, there needs to be like 1 or 2 of me,
Hey, fair enough.
But that being said, though, maybe like your biggest personality trait is how nice you are. Genuinely, that's a real thing. Or maybe how like you're a bit blunt. Or maybe it's the fact that you're like a very strategical player to your core and you're almost a bit cold towards people. I can name off tons of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For I do a lot of prod for Jokers. Literally, the big thing we cast in Jokers, for example, is how does this person tell a unique story as a player, and B, more importantly, by translation, how does this player interact in a recording setting? If both of those are positive answers, fuck yeah. Genuinely, fuck yeah. Get them on. But yeah, no, like, because there's some people where it's like, yeah, you got a nice story, but do I think you'd be interesting in a recording to watch? No. Or I think you might be interesting, but I also think you don't. I feel like you're just trying to impress me. Because, like, no offense, it feels like some players will take the advice of be interesting and, like, try and make this bombastic character. in my interviews, I'm not bombastic. Happy can tell you this. I'm
Mhm.
very calm and I'm very straightforward, genuine on my answers, and I let you know off the bat, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a bit crazy in the season at some points, you know?
Mhm.
And like production likes that more. They want to know you, okay? They don't want to know like a cartoon version of you. That's for the cameras, bro. No, genuinely.
It is true. Yeah, no, it is true. 100%. I've seen those type of interviews, and they usually don't get casted. So
Yeah.
it's true. My next question is obviously we've both hosted. We've been part of teams. So for those who like want to start their own recordeds, what advice would you give them
Mm.
for like wanting to do their first season?
First of all, if you're thinking you're gonna do hosting recordings right off the bat of the gate, please don't,
Yep.
because you should probably please don't. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Some people need to host on recordeds. You don't have to host them a conventional way. Maybe you want to grab some people you specifically like, or you could genuinely do applications like some people do. Just host a few seasons. Get a feel for how you like to host, how you like to build. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're building your own season, I want you to realize it's a lot of effort. Like, just building a season. That's not even getting into all the stuff I'm sure Happy can tell you about recording and editing, but just building a season takes a lot of time. Sure, you could build a piece of shit and have that stuff done in like a month, but like, why? Why not just make that unrecorded and just run that for fun? Like, if you're going to build something and show it to an audience, don't you want it to look good? Otherwise, why do it? So you got to put a lot of time into building, which, a general good piece of advice is build, run some seasons, meet some people in the community, and build yourself a production team. Then
Oh yeah.
then use that production team for recorded. It won't be perfect. My recorded that never saw the light of day, I had 5 people agree to be cameras. Guess what? And like 4 people agree to be production runners that day. Happy the week of 3 of the cameras dropped out, and most of my physical players didn't make it. And the one that showed up, no joke, knowing I was understaffed, I'm not going to name them because it's not worth dragging someone, but literally left to go play in one of Killer's seasons at the time, even though I needed someone to body act as me.
Oh,
Like, genuinely, no offense when you did that, you know who you are. Like, I was genuinely distraught because I didn't know how the fuck I was going to run a recorded with 3 cameras.
mm,
But I
that's
managed.
yeah. I mean, that good. Yeah, yeah.
The season turned out fine. I mean, the footage turned out mostly. I got majority of it. And the 2 cameras that did show up that day did an excellent job. Um, Joey and Rondile were awesome that season, So yeah.
Yeah,
But
shout out to them. Shout
shout out
out.
to them. Yeah, the real ones. But no, it was brutal. It was brutal. So genuinely, you're gonna have some tough times as a host. Maybe you'll have a bunch of casts drop and you'll have to go hunting for new cast members. Maybe you'll have to, deal with the fact that you have a shit production crew. No offense. That's just a thing that you might have to learn is that you have a crew that doesn't support your project. You know, don't want to get into that, but there's a experience I've been having that we had to do that. I'm just might cut this, but
Yeah.
I would just, I mean, basically what I'm trying to say is this. Sorry, I have a stutter, by the way. Which is just get ready, get some experience, get some people who you can trust, and like truly want to host this. Because like, if your reasons to host or record it are just to like do it because you want to like make a big recorded series, but not like actually like do it for like any fun reasons, please don't. Because you're not doing it for any genuine reason and your heart's not in it, you know? So, okay, you need to do all that. I'm sure Happy could go off about,
Oh, I
okay, then
could.
once you've hosted and recorded all that, guess what, buddy? The work's not done. Because now you got to go edit that shit and film that shit, or edit that shit, get post. You're gonna have to make it, and not only do you have to edit it, you have to try and make a good edit too, and that's actually takes some fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And you do all that, and And the sad truth is, even when you post it, no, you're not going to get big YouTube money. Like, no offense, buddy, even Elite Chris, who has a decent following, it's not like everyone's like cheering out of the gates when he hosts. Yeah, he's got a decent following, but like, this is a niche community, so don't expect anything crazy, you know?
Mm-hmm. Always
But,
do it for fun, never for money.
yep, don't expect anything out of it. But that being said, though, have fun with it. You know, do it and try and just go for it, because I don't know. I've been having to help. I mean, genuinely, I'll say this. I think Joker. You know, I mentioned him before. He his first season was a bit rough. You know, this is coming from a friend. You know, I think there were some problems. I think the main problem was the casting. I just feel like it was a very boring, dry cast. Sorry, you know, very strategical and nothing else. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, when I joined the crew, I was very much deeply thought like I wanted to help him make like a genuinely good recorded. So yeah, we sunk in, we gave it that time because you know, I thought about your seasons, Happy, how you have a whole crew that's willing to back you on your projects and really like support you through shit. And Joker didn't have that. So I wanted to try and give him at least you know, like he had a good day of crew, but not like a crew that would help him build a season. So I wanted to be that person, that main person in his corner cheering him on. So yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's really important to have people in your corner. That's for sure. Not just people you ask day of to like, yo, want to help me film?
Yep.
Like, you never
Because
know
those
what
are
will
two
happen
different
with that.
things, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. You need people you trust that will actually like perform what they say
Definitely.
they what
Definitely.
what they say they're gonna perform.
But yeah, I guess
Yeah.
long story short, remember it's a whole ass process, and my simple advice is first of all, host some unrecordeds, genuinely. Just host a few seasons, get yourself out there. You'll be surprised what you learn, you know?
Exactly. Yes, sir. We're we're the mentors of the. No, I'm kidding.
The mentors, bro. Holy shit.
All right. We've actually hit an hour. I don't know how
Holy
it doesn't
shit.
hasn't even felt like an hour. So just to wrap things up already, which is crazy. I'm gonna do.
I feel like we could easily keep going.
Oh, we
you know?
could. We
Shit.
totally could.
Shit.
But Post Me would probably hate that with editing. So I'm so this is a new thing I did with Mason because I don't even remember if I did this back in the day, but what I do now, I guess, is I'm gonna shoot you with some lightning questions. Like we have a lightning round, and then I'm gonna
Sure.
ask you like the typical two questions, or not typical two questions, the typical question that I ask everybody at the end, and then the
Okay.
part where you just like want to say your final words, shout outs, whatever. So
All right.
here we go. You ready for the quick fire round?
Okay. Let's hear it.
Okay, first question. Why the name PvP Fighter 11?
I picked it when I was 13 years old. I was my username used to be based off of my favorite video game as a kid. It was basically, to be honest, it was a furry game, Sly Cooper. My username was Sly Cooper Man 11. The only thing that survived from that username, as you could tell, was the 11. I became PvP Fighter because I was really into Sky Wars at the time, and I thought the name PvP Fighter was funny because it was like two combat names together, which feels like it's fucking stupid when you say it out loud, which is why I thought it was funny. Is like because like you can yell it like PvP Fighter and like it like and I don't know why it comes off the tongue really well. And there are people who have made so many memes out of my stupid fucking name, but I love it. I genuinely love being called PvP because it used to be such a common username. Nobody fucking uses it now, which is why I use it, because someone's gotta.
Yeah, wish I could relate with the other happy in the community, but all right. Next question. What is your favorite recorded that you've ever been a part of?
I mean, straight up GOG. I'm gonna be honest there.
Hey,
GOG was one of my
easy.
most favorite recorded.
Hey,
Because I
Skillish.
mean,
No,
if
I'm
we're
kidding.
talking about favorite recordeds that have like not come out or posted, I definitely would. I'll say this, despite everything, Dell season 1 or whatever season was called, I played a very fantastic game in that season. Almost won, but that season never fully released, and it's been deleted, sadly, which is a damn shame. That was actually a really good cast. But if we're just talking about recordings that are actually in existence, GOG, easy.
All right, next question. What's your favorite part about being in a production team?
I would actually say I really like trying to put a cast together. I love building, but I will say it's a sad thing where I know every time I get onto a production and I know half the time if it's like a production that's very unprepared for a season, it means who's gonna be probably doing a majority of the building? My ass. So I don't actually look forward to that. But that being said, though, I really fuck with making a good cast because it's some I do real shit. I do like writing on the side, and I do shit like run my own D&D campaign. So I really enjoy trying to pair personalities together and stuff that like I think would be like an interesting combo for a story. It's because it's actually a hard cast. It's easy to throw some people together that you like. It's actually hard to make a good thought together cast, though. So yeah, which I think, for the record, I think is something you do beautifully. Your crew does an excellent job picking out a cast.
Yay! Woo!
I was like, oh my God!
Yeah, let's go. Okay. Next question. Next question. How do you feel about the community right now?
Recorded scene, I think, is the most alive it's ever been, and I genuinely hope that the community continues to move in a positive direction. Unrecorded scene, it sounds like it's gotten a little bit better, but it obviously still is not amazing. And I'm sorry, but I genuinely avoid those seasons for a damn reason. That being said, though, I don't know. I mean, that'd be the main thing I'd say, I guess. I don't know.
Recordeds are up. Unrecordeds are there. Yeah,
There,
let's
they
go.
definitely
Yeah,
exist.
yeah.
Community itself seems fine. Maybe a bit quiet. We're all cut off into different sections, doing our own shit.
And last question for the quick fire round. Um,
Right.
who's if you had to like beat like just say you're autocast, you don't even like have to be like applying or nothing. This host asks you to be in the recorded season. Whose season would you want to, or like whose series would you want to be in and why?
Shit, man. I mean, I'll say I would probably ask you to cut these, but actually off the air, really looking to see if I can get gonna be honest there. I'm looking into seeing if I can get into those. Um, there are certain seasons I avoid. I'm sorry. There are certain productions after I've heard some things that I generally avoid. And then is that the question or did I misunderstand it?
No, no, you did. You answered it. You answered
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna ask you probably cut that the two recordings I mentioned there. You can just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
blur
yeah.
them or
I'll
something.
blur
I
them. I'll
don't
blur
know.
them. I'll blur them. All right, and so that wraps up the quick fire round. So now we're gonna wrap it up with the final question, and then after that, you'll be able to say anything you want and shout people out. Up to you.
Real shit.
So last question is, which I asked to everybody, what are your future plans in the community?
Okay. I particularly have dedicated myself to Joker's Minecraft Survivor series. Obviously, I will always be a fan of yours, Happy, but seeing that you have an amazing crew that follows you, no offense means that I don't feel like I need to help you that much because it seems like you got it. So I just like to help however I can because you and I have always been good. But for Jokers is my main dedication. I love helping his series. Every season we're planning on trying to improve from the previous, and I plan on helping him make one of hopefully a really good series that grows and pop in some, people's minds. Please sign up if you're out there. I don't fucking care. Please sign up for Joker season 3. It's an awesome the next season is going to be awesome. We got a great twist in store. I'm not going to spoil it for obvious fucking reasons, but it's a great season. You're really going to fuck with it, and I really hope you all get the chance to sign up for it because yeah. Besides that, besides Jokers, a lot of stuff I don't do with the community. I'll probably continue to work on trying to save up money and put myself into college one day. Come from maybe not so wealthy of a background, so I like to try and work hard and work one day so hopefully I can live that real American dream. And obviously I'm going to keep living my best life. I'm out here living I mean, say what you want. I think it's crazy if people say this about me, but I mean, I guess I'll own it for a moment. This community really has put me through the most bullshit experiences, but also this community gave me my friend group. Friend group I really care about, friend group that I've legit helped out in real life circumstances, and it gave me a girlfriend that I live with now today. It's a wonderful, wonderful woman I met. She is absolutely I don't care. You can call me a simp. I don't fucking care. At least I got a girlfriend, loser. But she's amazing. She's a absolute like I don't think I could have asked for someone better. She complements my personality and complements everything about me, and just is absolutely someone I would do anything for. And I feel like that's love right there, man. So
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do that. And finally, there is a project. I have one final game show project I've had on the back burner for a while now. I do plan on hosting it someday. I will actually go ahead and say it off the line right now with you. So you can go ahead and I'll tell you this, and the audience can be like, "Ooh, what did they talk about?" But
all right, perfect. Oh, whoa, jump cut! Yo, that's crazy! Oh
that's
my
crazy,
god,
dude!
Oh, I mean that's a really good idea. I mean, shit.
I'm just saying, man. Like, I think we should run a recording where all of them are women and they.
Oh yeah. That's what we were talking
dude,
about.
That was definitely what we were talking about.
That's definitely what we were talking about. All right. So that wraps everything up. So the final thing, which everyone has done, is this is now your time. You can say whatever you want. You could give shout outs if you really want to. It's up to you.
Kind of already did, but yeah.
yeah, true.
I mean, I'll say it again at the end here. If you want to cut the original one or whatever, I don't fucking care. Sign up for Jokers. Season 3 should be coming out. Apps should be coming out for that. I don't know when you're posting this, but
probably in a week, apps. Even maybe less.
Week, maybe less. Joker, if things continue on production as planned, apps should be releasing sometime in December, January latest. So expect apps for that to be releasing soon. Sign up, people. Sign up. It's going to be a good season. I'm promising you. Swear to Christ, because I'm going to be. Guess what? I'm going to be doing. I'm his main production, dude. I'm going to be in there, fucking hands deep, building this shit, dude. So you won't. If you like if people who remember my shit back in the day, oh man, you want a good built season, motherfucker, I'm him. so be there, okay? Sign up, make it a good app, and for God, just make it something worth our time. Okay, that's fucking mean. Actually, sign up if you want to sign up. But besides that, shout out to obviously I'll obviously shout out your series, Happy, even though it's your channel. Go watch Happy, sign up for Happy's future seasons. He's a great host, one of the best in this community. Support any of the hosts in the series, because a lot of the recorded hosts that are doing shit right now, majority of them are great hosts. They got great projects that follow them. Please go support what they do, because honestly, it's a lot, because they're the ones who make the shit that you guys like talking about. So support them, dude. Genuinely. Besides that, keep an eye out for me is all I gotta say. I'll probably be making a new Discord here coming up in the next year for that project I'll be working on. All Women Survivor.
All Women Survivor, where they hate each other. I remember what that was.
Listen, exactly I know enough women. About. I can make it happen, Happy. I can make it happen.
That was a great topic that we totally discussed. No one will like it. It'll be an awful season. Yeah.
No, but real shit. Keep an eye out for me. Just saying, next year or so, that people should start hearing about what I got planned, and that will be probably my last major project to the community, besides probably helping on Jokers till he fucking retires. Because that guy's like a little brother to me. I'll fucking build how many survivors he needs me to build.
In your 80s, and he's just like, I need another season.
All right, God fucking damn it! All right, VP, come on, let's get up! Over to your computer, build another one. No. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I build all of them solo. He obviously helps, obviously. Yeah. But I'm like, anyways.
Oh my gosh. Well,
yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been a fucking pleasure, Happy.
Of course, always. So that wraps everything up. Thank you, PvP, for coming on. This was, like you said, a long time coming. I think you asked even before I took the break. So this has been a long time coming. But with that, if anyone else wants to get on this, DM me. But like I have been saying, I am not the best when it comes to responding to DMs. I am
Yes.
notoriously known for leaving people on red, which is just a terrible habit of mine, but it's what I do.
I'll call out two people right now. I think I would love to see an
Ooh,
interview
okay,
from.
okay.
Hold on, let me check your channel before I call these people out who I think they should get
I
on.
want
Because like
Corkager and
it would be
Peppin
so
on.
funny if like I said like, oh yeah, so and so needs to get on, and it's like, PP, we did them already.
About that.
And I'd be like, fuck. But hold on. Let me fucking check the list before I say these people. Hold on.
Yeah. I got you.
All right. I know I've watched a majority of these. It's just like I used to watch these back when I used to do delivery. So
Yeah.
fuck you. I forgot you did NKS.
Mm-hmm.
You did Cav twice. Why did you do Cav twice? That's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, I still do not remember why I did Cav twice.
Like I
I
just
have
saw
no
that.
idea. I have no idea why. Oh, I think the first time was because we just met, and I was just like, "Oh, you're a host. Want to get on this?" And he's like, "I bet." The second time, actually,
Obviously,
I don't
things have
remember.
changed. Now we're older.
Things have changed. Yeah, things have changed. He's on his final season. Like he was like season 3 or 4 by that point.
So, first off, I'm surprised I haven't seen this person. I don't think I talked to this person enough. Even though I actually think, despite everything, I think this guy's awesome. Soccer, I better see your ass on here eventually. Genuinely, I would love to see an interview between Happy and Soccer. That shit would be really fun to watch. Soccer, don't disappoint me. Next month, I better see your ass on this channel. Okay, I'm counting on this. You don't understand, Soccer. I need it. And fuck it. If we're gonna do them, who's one other that I would really fuck with? Because I'm fucking surprised. Get Brian on from season 2 if you haven't done him yet. Brian's awesome, dude. I feel like you would have just as much fun talking to Brian as you would with me.
Oh
so,
yeah. Oh yeah. You know
All
what?
right.
Those are two picks.
Make them happen. Make it happen.
It might happen. It might happen. We'll see. I mean,
Brian,
see.
I better see you on Soccer. I motherfucker. I don't care what you're doing. Make it happen. You will find time.
Hey, who knows? Who knows? Maybe they already asked. Maybe I already asked. Who knows?
Ooh.
I can say now they didn't.
Okay, you can cut this. Has anyone else asked you? I'm curious.
Yes.
Whoa,
another jump cut. Oh my god, it's like the 5th one. That's crazy.
Like the 5th one. Fuck.
Post-Beast just like, god damn it.
Yeah, so those are my two people I would say, though. Make it happen. And obviously, Happy's not going to contact you. That's on you, bro. Make it happen.
Yeah, that's true. I probably won't be able. I don't really contact people for this. I've only contacted maybe like 1 or 2. But anyway, that is that. Thanks once again for everyone listening in and PvP for this amazing interview. You'll see him in future projects. I'm glad you
enjoyed it.
Oh yeah. It was fun. You'll definitely see him in other future projects. I can't name them right now. And yeah. For anyone who wants to hop on, like I said, just shoot me a quick DM. We'll see what happens. No guarantees though. But yeah, other than that,
real shit.
We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Ah!